Hey guys, it's Hawk here, back with another video. This time it's a theory, and it's going to be on the more recent episodes and what's been going on with Star versus the Forces of Evil. And yes, I am a pretty big fan of the show, if you didn't know. So, yeah, theories are not my usual content, so if things are off, if I say a lot, I am so sorry. This is semi-scripted, except for where I go into my actual theory, parts of it, my points. So I apologize if I ramble at all, if I repeat things. I apologize. So, yeah, warning in advance, this video contains spoilers for the Star vs. the Force of Evil. If you haven't watched the recent episodes, please turn back now. So, after the Season 3 episode titled Total Eclipse of the Moon, many fans are left confused. Who is Festivia? Is she a real butterfly? What's going on? Well, here's my theory. In the episode, Moon goes to Eclipse after Star dumps the heinous is Eclipse's kid bomb on her, and in search of answers, she goes to Eclipse, bringing a book detailing the royal family history with her, or the members of the royal family. And when asking Eclipse if Festivia is her daughter, Eclipse tells her no. It is further confirmed that Eclipse doesn't know who Festivia is, especially when she asks who was Festivia, seeing the records of her daughter covered up with Festivia's name. So who could she be? Here's my speculation. First off, I'll get this out of the way. I do not think she is Eclipse's kid. And I also do not think that the King Shastakhan label, shown in the little, scroll, is the monster husband. And I'll get into both of this. So, first off, I don't think she's Eclipse's kid for many reasons, but I'll list them right now. So, I know I've heard some people talking about, hey, maybe she got her mind erased or something like that. And, well, for one, we don't know who can use it. We don't know if it's something only, you in royalty or, queens or princesses can use, or that we don't know the entirety of how that spell works. Or what part of the memory it takes away. Does it wipe out the entire thing? Well, probably not if she remembers as much as she does. Does it only wipe out things that just happened? Can you wipe out certain parts? How does it work? Can you even use it on yourself? We don't know. So, that's one thing. Two, I don't think you just forget having a kid. That's just not one of those things you forget. Especially if, Festivia came first, because she ran away from the Mumin King afterwards, That doesn't make any sense. How would you just forget having a kid, especially if you had that kid first? That makes absolutely no sense. And also, I do not think King Shastakhan is a monster husband, and this is why. Well, we know that Meteora was erased because she is half monster. And if King Shastakhan were to be the monster husband, were to be Festivia's father, wouldn't Festivia also be erased? There would be no difference. She would be a half monster just like Meteora. There'd be no magical double standard or anything like that. It just wouldn't work that way. She'd be erased too if that were the case. So I think King Shastakhan is the Mumin King she initially wed. So here's what I think happened. So we know from the grandma room and the little pedestal next to Eclipse's painting, or not really a painting, more like the woven tapestry, my bad. But basically it says, Eclipse, Queen of Muni, to a Mumin King is wed, but took a monster for her love and away from Muni fled. So, she fled. She fled soon after with her monster husband. And we know Muni. Muni is not the type of kingdom to just give up tradition like that. They need to pass down this wand. They need to pass down this ground. They need a new queen. They need to pass down this book of spells. They would not break this tradition. So what would they do? Well, what I think they would do is have King Shastakhan, or King Shastakhan probably took upon himself, we don't know. He probably took upon himself, or whatever happened, to go to one of Eclipse's relatives, probably more closely related, like a sibling or a cousin, because we don't know if Eclipse had siblings or cousins. We know she had some distantly related family for sure, but we don't know how distant. But I think it's more likely that, so it's, she's a true princess kind of deal, and, more closely related, more closer ties to magic, that sort of thing. So I think it's more likely that he went to one of Eclipse's siblings or relatives and had a kid with them, so, they could continue the tradition. And I do not think that Festivia would have been adopted, because as we could tell from the When Flags episode, the Muni, royalty, like, the relatives to, Moon and all that, their family, the butterflies, they have the cheek marks. They all have the cheek marks, but regular citizens of Muni, they don't have the cheek marks. Not like that. So I don't think Festivia would be just some random human person adopted. I definitely think she is related. She is a butterfly for sure, but we don't know how, like, what happened, if she's just someone they adopted. Maybe they adopted from the butterfly royal family, but I don't think they just adopted any random person. I don't even think they adopted in the first place. I think he had a kid with one of Eclipse's relatives, because that would make the most sense for the situation. So if that were the case, you guys are probably going to ask, hey, how does Eclipse not know about this? And we'll go back to that one saying next to that tapestry. She, away from Muni, fled. So after she took the monster for her love, she fled from Muni. She fled. She fled. So she's on the run. The Magical High Commission's on her ass. The Royal Guards, all the Knights are on her ass. And she's running. She's trying to keep herself safe. She's trying to keep her family safe. She's a kid. She's a kid to look after, Meteora. She has a lot going on there. She has a lot. She is on the run. She's trying to get away from Yumi. She's leaving. She's gone. And considering she has so much on her hands right now, I don't think she would have been just like, hey, let's fuck around. Let's just see what my ex is up to. Let's just see what my ex is up to. I have all these million other things on my hands, but no, let's just see what my ex is up to. Yeah, no. Considering that situation, who Eclipse is, I highly doubt she'd use the spying spell for that in that situation. She'd be more likely to use it, say, on the Magical High Commission, or maybe even the Royal Guards, because she wants to see where they're at and see, hey, are we safe for now? They want to see that. They probably would not be going, oh yeah, let's just see what my ex is up to for the hell of it. Like, that does not strike me as something she would do, especially considering the situation. And because she's away from the Royal Castle, she's away from Muni, or closer, she's in Muni, but she's away from, like, the castle and all that. I don't think she would know, because considering she's away from there, she's fled, she's gone. She wouldn't know, because she wasn't there. So I highly doubt she would have known. So, yeah, to recap, I do not think that Festivia is the kid of Eclipse and her monster husband, because, if she were to be, well, she would also be erased. 2, I think it's more likely that Festivia is a kid of the Human King, Shasta Khan, and one of Eclipse's relatives, more likely a cousin or a sibling of Eclipse. That's what I think is more likely. And also, I do not think Eclipse would have known, considering she's gone from there, like I just been saying. So, what does that make Eclipse? What does that make Festivia? Well, it would still technically make Festivia a princess, and still make Star and Moon butterflies, but they may not necessarily be great-great-great-great-great-great-grandchildren, or however many greats of Eclipse. They'd be more like, great-great-great-great-great-great-nieces. That's more likely. And also, we don't know how the laws of Muni work. We don't know if they annex marriage, or not annex, annulment. We don't know if they can have an annulment, or if divorces are not a thing in Muni. We don't know that. And, hey, maybe she fled, but she never officially divorced him. And so she's technically some sort of step-grandparent, so that technically makes her a grandparent. We don't know how the laws of Muni entirely work, but it's more likely that she's more of a great-great-great-great-great-great-aunt instead of, say, a great-great-great-great-great-grandmother. And yes, I do think that Star and Moon are still butterflies, just maybe not as closely related to Eclipse as they might have thought. So those are just a huge ramble of my ideas and my thoughts on what's going on, who I think Festivia is, if she's a real butterfly, who her parents are, all that. That's just my thoughts. If you would like to chime in, if you would like to agree, disagree, go ahead. Let's just all be civil. This is After all, over a TV show, we don't want to start fights over a TV show. So let's just all be civil, discuss our opinions on this theory. This is Hawk, signing out.